you during that soundbite from Ben Roethlisberger, mainly because it seems like Ben didn't quite take what Mason Rudolph said, to task there. But do you agree? Does Ben have a point at all that drafting Mason Rudolph doesn't exactly help the Steelers right now?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I don't agree with Ben whatsoever. Here's why. Number one, I'm going to come from a drafty perspective. And I'm going to put Ben back in that position. If Ben was being drafted, he would believe that he can help a team if they selected him in the 3rd round behind a future Hall of Fame quarterback. That would be his mentality. So for him to say, I don't know if this was the best decision for us, we could have gotten some really good players or a really good player in the 3rd round. Well, obviously they think that they did because they selected him. So for him to say this, it's like, why? I just think Ben Roethlisberger has been very adolescent with this whole idea of what he feels he's needed to say, whether it's been now, during the course of the season, against Mike Tomlin. When you look at your quarterback, your franchise guy, and you wonder why we haven't been back to the Super Bowl since 2010, won since 2008, I have to look at my quarterback. We see what guys like Antonio Brown has done in the locker room after the games and exposed your coach with Facebook Live and all these different things. Well, I mean, your number one leader, your number one guy, Ben Roethlisberger, he does some of the similar antics. He just does it challenging the coach and different things. When they won, you had guys like Antoine Randall in that locker room, Jerome Bettis in that locker room, who were exemplary of how you are to be and conduct yourself as a professional, as a leader on a team. Ben Roethlisberger, with him making these comments, with him coming out, Mason Rudolph didn't ask to be selected in the 3rd round by the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Right.
Look, I just did my job as a player in college, and I got drafted. I'm excited. Now I get to play with one of the greatest quarterbacks in this league, and he says this about me? That's bad.
And Greg and I didn't have the same experience that Mason's having in there, because we were drafted, and the guys at our position, let alone the rest of the team, they embraced us. They brought us in. So this is not something that we felt. But we've seen stories, and we've had guys that we were teammates that were not good teammates and were not inviting to the younger players. But those guys were jerks. You're getting ready to find out, if you're not covering the National Football League, Ben Roethlisberger is a jerk. He's been a jerk. He's been a crybaby. He's been petty for a long, long time. So this is not new information to me. He was a jerk to Todd Haley. He was a jerk to Mike Tomlin. He was a jerk to the other players in the locker room when he decided to be better than them and come out of the locker room because, he didn't want to be part of the protest. When you was in the meeting, you were unified, but then you started seeing it was a bad look, and then you wanted to try to get away from your teammates. So for me, this is not foreign to me. This is who Ben Roethlisberger really is. And there are rookies that these are some of the things that you have to overcome. With a veteran at your position, he's not going to help you. So this does happen on a regular basis in the NFL.
Who on the team, from a management or coaching perspective, has Ben Roethlisberger in the last 12 months not thrown under the bus? He threw the offensive coordinator, Todd Haley, under the bus repeatedly, enough to where I think it's one of the reasons Todd Haley's no longer there and now he's in Cleveland. Mike Tomlin thrown under the bus when the game against the Patriots, where he's like, I would have rather let Spike it there, questioning him. He throws the entire draft team under the bus when he says, and we didn't play this clip, but about Josh Dobbs. Oh, they must have missed on him.
Yeah,
they must have gotten that pick wrong. We drafted him last year. He must not be the player that we thought he was. And now he throws his potential protege under the bus and Mason Rudolph, totally misquoting him. Like, the audience should know. Mason Rudolph was asked about Ben Roethlisberger mentoring him, and he gave the exact right answer. That's not Ben's job. I'm here to learn.
Without question.
He didn't say, he said he doesn't need me, but that's what Ben says on a very popular radio show in Pittsburgh to poison the well against the kid.
In 1998, Jake Reed and I had broke the NFL record. It was our record of having 1,000-yard season 3 years in a row. It was 2 by teammates. He had 1,000. We had done it 3 years in a row. We broke it 4. Who the Vikings draft? They draft Randy Moss. Congratulations, you guys broke the record. You're the best ever in NFL history. We're drafting Randy Moss. No problem. So we go about it. We put Randy right into the offense. They moved me into the slot. The next year, we were a great offense, broke the NFL record. Man, we don't need no offensive players. Who they draft? Dante Culpepper. Now, Javon Kearse, the defensive end for Florida, could have helped us.
Yeah.
We just left the NFC Championship. Man, we got a great offense. We need a defense. We need a rush. They draft Dante Culpepper and tell him he's going to redshirt. I mean, you talking about hot, man. I was hot. I was upset. I was disturbed. Dante not going to help my career. I need to get me a defender or someone I can win. I didn't tell no one.
Exactly.
The first day Dante comes there, I sit him down and say, hey, man, listen, it's going to be a redshirt year for you. Anything you ever need,
awesome.
We're here for you. Randy Moss and Randy Moss became best friends immediately. Dante sat that year. And then in 2000, you know what? Dante took us to the NFC Championship as a first-year starter.
And ended up at one point in his career winning league MVP. Like, I mean, that certainly helped him. And that was for the Vikings. I understand it was frustrating for you because...
And I can guarantee you, if I had reacted the same way Ben did, Dante would remember that till this day, and it would alter how quick he could assimilate in taking over the team.
What Ben has to understand is what's best for the team is for him to do his job and embrace those who are coming in to advance the team. As a player, when you know you're the premier player, you're the face of our franchise, let alone you got other guys in your room or on that team that have great things going on for them individually. You have to be the example. When we bring in a guy, the quicker you embrace them, the quicker we advance and project our chances as a team.
Of course.
And how many quarterbacks in the league have as much as Ben Roethlisberger has? He has his entire offensive line all under contract. He has a running back. He's got Antonio Brown to throw to. He's got Juju Schuster. He's got all his weapons. He has nothing to complain about. Come in, show up, play some football.
But, Jenna, it's one of the big secrets. Greg will tell you around the NFL. They don't say it. Them quarterbacks are just as selfish as the wide receivers. But we don't talk about it. Let's show the wide receivers complaining. The quarterbacks per man are some of the most selfish that you have in the NFL.
And on Big Ben, one just statistical note. The guy's missed 8 games in the last 3 years. That's 1 in every 6 games the Pittsburgh Steelers have played over the last 3 years. He's missed. You need a competent backup quarterback. I don't know if they missed on Josh Dobbs or not, but Mason Rudolph they thought was good value there. And if you're not happy about it, nobody says you got to be happy about it. But to go out, misquote a guy, and do this publicly on a local interview where you're trying to turn the local fans against him is so out of line.
He also threatens to retire every 6 weeks.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
Every 6 weeks, he's like, I think I might hang it up. Well, guess what? One of these days, the Steelers are going to say, we're going to call you on your bluff. We got a guy now who can play.
They got to make sure that they're setting themselves up for future success. That's the nature of this business. It doesn't make, he's not excluded from that process.
Right.
He's included in that process.
Greg, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. I'm sure we'll
see you
see
another
you
2 months.
real soon. And it's not
tomorrow.
true.